Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC comic review, and in this DC comic review I will be reviewing The Flash, issue 786 by Jeremy Adams, and of course on the horrible side of things, of course Megan Terrible Ryder Fitzmartin's Dark Crisis Young Justice tie-in. So I'll get things prepared to cover what I'll be covering first. So I might as well begin with the best one first, and that is The Flash, issue 786. So first things first, does this cover art in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it an 8 out of 10. I'll now move to showing some of the internal art around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, as well as seeing some of the things that are happening story-wise. So as we start to look around the beginning of the story, we get an appearance of one of the Super Sons, and of course things continue, and we have Jay and Irie speaking with their mum Linda. I'll now move to around the middle of the story. As we start to move towards the middle of the story, we get some really nice moments with Jay and Irie, as we have Jay talking with Wonder Girl, I think it is, if I remember correctly. And we have Irie here. I'll now move towards the end. And as we begin to move towards the end, we end up catching up with Clarion, the Witch Boy. And of course, back to the members of the Flash family, as well as the JSA and Titans and other people in relation to this. Of course, we've got Hawkman. And of course, we've got Jay pulling off a bit of a stunt too. So, for the internal art, I give this an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the story rating. First things first, did we get any comic references to any of the previous issues? No, we didn't. No, it probably wouldn't hurt to include maybe 1 or 2 references. Moving into the next area, and that is the area of time. Did we get any indication of when that this was taking place time-wise, even throughout the day? Not really. Next location is, next is the area of the locations, and about the key one was the Hall of Justice. There were some other locations, but they weren't clearly pointed out. Did it affect the story rating? We'll soon find out. The cast of characters. Moving to the next area, we had the Flash family, we had the Titans, we had JSA, of course we had Damian Wayne making an appearance, no son of John Doe. We had Animal Man and Animal Girl, so basically a father and daughter team working together, and last but not least, Clarion the Witch Boy. So for the overall story rating in this, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. This is definitely one of the best runs that I recommend. Now it's time to move on to the not so best runs that's happening in DC Comics right now. So, moving into the Amber Heard of comic writing. That's right, Megan Fitzmartin. She's the one who comes in, ruins the bed and leaves, and then ruins another bed and leaves. So, jumping into the first things first, do these covers in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside with the story? Sure enough, they do, to which I give the first cover, which is on the left-hand side, an 8 out of 10. For the one that's on the right-hand side, a 7 out of 10. I'll now use the variant cover to show some of the internal art around the beginning, middle, and end, as well as covering some of the things that are happening story-wise. So, as this story begins, as we get a number of things happening there, we've got the members of Young Justice going up against a fake version of the Justice League and everyone else that they're up against. And yes, we've even got Big Barda, Martian Manhunter, Huntress making an appearance, a Superman and Batman of sorts. As we jump towards the middle, we see him taking out these characters, so there's a lot of action happening here. And last but not least, Megan Fitzmartin goes full retard and brings in the son of Mr. Mixelpidolic. Yeah, I think it would have been better with having the original one in. It would make more sense instead of having this jerk creation of hers. And I also want to point out something too, is that the fake Cassie Sandsmark isn't here because now they're a man. So for the internal art, I give this a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story. First things first, did we get any comic references? No, we didn't. Okay, what about the area of time? Well, about the closest we got to time was 12 hours. 12 hours what? Later? Earlier? It never really lets the audience know. Moving into the area of locations, we had Titan's Tower in San Francisco, I believe it was. And on top of that, we also had Themyscira. Moving into the cast of characters, we had Tim, Bart, Connor. Of course, we had all the fake versions of the Justice League and everyone else included. We had Red Tornado. We had Cassie Sandsmark. We had full retard moment of Megan Fitzmartin bringing in Mickey Mitsuplik. And the Mickey side of things sounds like she's very pro Mickey Mouse agenda in DC Comics. And for the overall story rating in this, I give it a 5 out of 10. In technicality, I think if I'm going to continue to review this, I might as well throw this series in the Fool's Gold. Because after issue 6 of Justice League versus Losh by Brian Michael Bendis, I think this would be a great replacement. And this is why it deserves a 5 out of 10. So until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.